All right, so you wanted to know about natural alternatives to ibuprofen.
Specifically, focusing on propionic acid.
Yeah, and we dove into a stack of research and
Fascinating historical facts.
uncover what you need to know about.
It will explore the link between ibuprofen and propionic acid, where this acid appears naturally, and what the research says about its effects.
Get ready for some surprising connections.
Yes.
So to kind of set the stage,
Yeah.
what exactly is propionic acid?
Well, it's a naturally occurring
Okay.
short-chain fatty acid
Okay.
found in various sources.
Okay.
And get this, it was first discovered in 1844 as a degradation product of sugar.
Really?
Yeah.
So as sugar breaks down,
Uh-huh.
it creates this acid.
Yes.
That's really interesting because it kind of makes me wonder about the implications for how our bodies process carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
Could there be a link between that process and pain or inflammation?
That's a great question, and it highlights how deeply intertwined our metabolic processes are. Now, shifting gears to ibuprofen.
Okay.
Ibuprofen is actually a derivative of propionic acid, and its development is a fascinating story of scientific progress.
Oh, do tell. Was propionic acid the specific target in the development of ibuprofen?
Well, in the 1950s and 60s, pharmacologists were searching for a safer alternative to aspirin, which was the primary treatment for rheumatoid arthritis at the time.
Okay.
And ibuprofen emerged from this research.
So they were building on the existing knowledge to create a better solution. That's fascinating.
Yes.
Now let's get to those natural alternatives.
Okay.
Where does propionic acid appear in nature?
Well, researchers have found it in a variety of herbs and roots.
Okay.
One key source is Scutellaria baicalensis, more commonly known as Chinese skullcap.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the concentration of propionic acid varies depending on where it's grown.
Really?
Chinese samples average 0.41 milligrams per gram, while Korean samples have 0.76 milligrams per gram.
Wow, that difference in concentration is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Do we know, is it related to the soil or the climate or even traditional cultivation techniques?
That's what researchers are trying to figure out.
Yeah.
There's so much we still don't know about these subtle variations and their potential impact.
Yeah. And does that translate to a noticeable difference in their effects as well?
It very well could.
Wow. Okay. So Chinese skullcap.
Aside from Chinese skullcap, you also have herbs like Lycium chinensis,
Okay.
goji berry,
That's a familiar one.
yes, Astragali radix, astragalus root, and Atractylodes rhizoma.
So some of these, like astragalus root, I've read about for their potential to modulate the immune system.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that ties into the propionic acid content at all.
Potentially.
It's amazing how these ancient practices are now being investigated by modern science.
Yes.
Potentially leading to new discoveries about these natural remedies.
Absolutely. And speaking of new discoveries, research into propionic acid's effects on the brain is particularly intriguing.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating about propionic acid and the brain?
Well, what's captivating is its ability to cross the blood-brain barrier.
Okay.
Studies using rats have explored potential links between propionic acid and autism-like symptoms.
Hmm.
This raises important questions about its role in neurological function.
So we'd have this naturally occurring acid that's a key component of ibuprofen, a common pain reliever,
Right.
and it can also potentially impact brain function.
Uh-huh.
So could consuming these herbs have similar effects to taking ibuprofen?
Well, it's a question many researchers are exploring.
Yeah.
While both ibuprofen and these natural sources contain propionic acid, the way our bodies process and absorb it can differ greatly.
Oh, okay.
The other compounds present in these herbs could influence how propionic acid is metabolized, potentially leading to different effects compared to just taking ibuprofen.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's like how the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
It's fascinating to think about how nature packages these compounds in a way that could be beneficial.
And that's why more research is needed to understand the potential benefits and risks of getting propionic acid from natural sources.
And this is a crucial point for our listeners.
Yes,
Always consult with a healthcare professional
definitely.
before making any changes to your health regimen.
Right.
We're just exploring the fascinating science here.
Exploring the science.
But it does make you wonder, given the historical use of these herbs in traditional medicine, could there be untapped potential in exploring propionic acid's natural sources for therapeutic purposes?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe future research will unlock even more secrets about propionic acid and its potential benefits. There's so much more to learn.
This deep dive has only scratched the surface. If you're intrigued,
Yeah.
we encourage you to delve deeper into the specific herbs and research we've discussed.
Absolutely.
You might uncover even more surprising connections.
Yes.
Until next time.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.